about yesterday. My, oh my, my, oh my.
So today guys, we are with a businesswoman, as you can see here, in this focus on African things. As you see here in the shop, is got many things, many different clothing, beads, jewelries, everything. So mama,
yes,
you know, mama.
Oh yes,
yeah, everyone is mama.
Yes.
So how did you start this business of everything
You know what, I may maybe give you a brief history of myself. I grew up in the village, heading cattle, going to school more than 8 kilometers, and you know, it was just after during the war and just after the war. So I had no enough clothes. So what would happen, my aunties were housemaids in these suburbs, you know, then for white people. So they were being given clothes to put on, so they would bring them in the village. So because those were clothes from older or senior women and I was just a babe, I could not wait to grow to fit in those dresses, in those blouses. So I would carry one or two as I'm heading cattle. I would get thorns. Then I would start to try and mend those blouses or those clothes for me to fit in that. So I started making clothes in the village, heading cattle with thorns. Thorns. Yes. So as I was now doing grade 2, we were introduced to what they used to call then home economics. Home economics. So we were being shared. Some were going to be doing what we used to call cookery. Now you are doing, I don't know what they are now calling it, but we used to call it cookery. And I was put in a class where we were going to be doing sewing.
Okay.
So from there, I grew this passion of making my own clothes. And as I came to Harare now for my grade 4, I was also introduced to a dressmaking class. So I was always outstanding. Then as I was growing now, I would pass by town going to my school and sometimes pass by my father's place. I used to see only white people owning African shops. I used to ask my father why, I'll say for example, why a British or an Indian was owning an African shop. Then my father used to say, because they have the money to start the business. Then I said, but anyone can do this business. How can an Indian or a British be selling my own Zimbabwean products? So I grew with now this passion of saying, I want to own an African Zim shop in Zimbabwe. So when I got married, my husband never wanted me to continue with my workplace because I was working with engineers and technicians in the IT industry. So when I left work, I said, but I can't be just sitting at home. I'm still young, I can still do something. That's when I thought of starting my business. I started this business making clothes with the hands. As a business now, I was now just using a needle, a thread in my hand. I had no machine. But if I tell you, my first order was for Braeside Catholic Center. I was asked to make uniform
with your hands.
With my hands. I could not tell them that no, 30 blouse, I cannot manage with my own hands. But what I did is I rushed to someone I used to see people collecting clothes from her house, and I asked her if she had a machine, and she said, yes, I have machines, I can do it for you. Then we negotiated. So since then I've been in this business for the past 24 years.
24 years.
4 years was unregistered. Then 20 years registered as a company, I pay everything, shop license and everything. So now I've dressed those women may think at the VIP and what. So passion.
Yeah, that's true.
Passion will push you to get where you want to go. Thank you.
So as for now, what's your dream? Because you have already...
Now my dream is to be the souvenir center of Zimbabwe. From being the souvenir center of Zimbabwe, I want to be the souvenir center of Africa.
Yeah.
Ugandan things are seen here, Tanzanian things are seen here, Burundi things are seen here. That's my wish. Souvenir center of Africa. Whoever comes to Zimbabwe should visit this place and see that this is now Africa in one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Well,